There once was a cool guy named Aristotle, a Greek philosopher. He thought all things weren't made of atoms except earth, fire, air, and water. Not long after that was Democritus, who was also a Greek philosopher and the father of modern science. John Dalton was a British chemist and physicist that researched colored blindness and the nature of gases. The line emission spectrum created frequencies of electromagnetic radiation when transmitting from a higher to a lower energy state. Atomic theory said that elements were made of atoms identical in size and mass, and that atoms can't be divided, created, or destroyed. Antoine-Henri Becquerel was a French physicist that discovered evidence of radioactivity. A British mathematician and physicist named J.J. Thomson found the ratio of charge to mass of electrons. Max Planck was a German physicist who helped people to understand atomic and subatomic processes by discovering energy quanta in the quantum theory. A rad couple named Pierre and Marie Curie were both Polish physicists that studied radioactivity that later led to their discovery of radium and polonium. An American physicist named Robert Millikan helped quantify the charge of an atom with his oil drop experiment. Ernest Rutherford was a New Zealand-born physicist and chemist that discovered alpha and beta particles and hypothesized the nuclear structure of an atom. Niels Bohr, a Danish physicist, said that energy is transferred only in certain quantities. Go Neil! Erwin Schrödinger was an Austrian physicist who used equations to show the likelihood of electrons in a certain place and how quantum mechanics applied to everyday objects. The photoelectric effect is the emission of electrons when light hits a material, like a metal. James Chadwick was a British physicist who discovered the neutron.
Wow, that's like so cool.
I know, right? A French physicist that goes by Louis de Broglie contributed to the quantum theory by saying that particles act as waves. Henry Becquerel discovered radioactivity by using fluorescence to study the properties of X-rays and showed that radiation could not be X-rays. The cathode ray experiment by J.J. Thomson showed that different metals release cathode rays made of electrons. Cutest power couple of the 19th century, and French scientists Irene and Frederick Joliot-Curie discovered artificial radioactivity. Werner Heisenberg was a German physicist that studied quantum mechanics and created the uncertainty principle. The plum pudding model, made by J.J. Thomson, showed that atoms were made of positive and negative charged pieces. During the gold foil experiment, Rutherford shot alpha particles at gold foil and concluded that a large centered mass caused deflections. Robert Millikan did the oil drop experiment to determine the size of the charge of an electron. Rutherford corrected the plum pudding model with the Rutherford model that described the nucleus as a positively charged, dense core. Bohr's model modified Rutherford's model by saying small positively charged particles are in the nucleus and orbited by negatively charged electrons. The modern atomic theory was Bohr's theory that electrons are in motion around the nucleus and protons and neutrons move within the nucleus. The quantum mechanic model, aka uncertainty principle, uses shapes of orbitals to show places likely to have electrons. De Broglie's theory of waves and particles states that waves and particles can overlap and that light could be a particle, aka a photon.
Oh my god!